Assalamualaikum. Previously we have determined the equivalent stresses and then the directional deformation in a simply supported beam. And if you remember that we had applied the force on a very small area, okay, on an edge almost, which is basically not practical. And in today's lecture we are going to define, okay, this thing, okay, we are going to define the force on a definite area. We will specify that, but before that, okay, let's say that I want to determine the stresses on the upper surface, and for that I need to determine I need to have determine the path. So for that, just go to the insert, construction geometry, and then select the path. Sorry, I just double clicked that, just delete one. Okay, so now I have, this is the path, okay, it's automatically have been created. But let's say that if you don't have that, then we will see how we can adjust that. Okay, you can look at the previous video how to define this path if it's not like that. Okay, and then next go to the solution, insert, deformation, and then or the stresses. I want to determine the equivalent one by the stresses, so right click, and then scoping method, select the path, and in the path select the path, and then right click, evaluate all results. So now you see that, okay, sorry, what I did, okay, this is valid scoping, I guess. Okay, so that's fine, just ignore the error. You see that, okay, the maximum stresses occur at the middle, which is basically 113 megapascal, quite close to that which were calculated previously, 115, and the maximum stresses are at the middle and the minimum stresses are at the edges. Okay, let's say that I want to add this this stress, I want to add let's say I want to add this chart into my report. So how I can do that? So just select the equivalent stresses, go to the results, and then select the chart, and then rename it F2 stress along path. Let me name it that path. Okay, so that's how I can do that. Okay, another thing I want to determine is that I want to define a path along the neutral axis. So how I can do that? Okay, so for that, just again go to the right click, insert, construction geometry, and then path. Okay, now I have the path 2. For that I just need the coordinator. Okay, just let me say that, okay, this is my start location. Okay, you can say that location start, and it will automatically you can say that pick the coordinates of this point, okay, which is basically point 1, and then select this edge, and then this is my end location. Okay, but this is the path I have drawn previously, but I want to move it a little bit downward, okay, which is basically the neutral axis. So I know that this is 40 mm cross section. So if you will look at that, so the x coordinate is 20 mm. Okay, so x coordinate is 20 because I guess the triad is here, so 20 mm, that's fine. So if it's 20 mm here, then at the bottom at the neutral axis it will also be 20, so this will not change that. But the y coordinate, okay, the y direction is 40 mm, so if I want to move it 20 mm downward, that would be the neutral axis. So just let me move it here, and the z I don't need to change it because there's the z. And for the other as well, okay, I need to move the y coordinate, okay, because this is 40, so again let me set it to 20 mm. So now you see there, okay, now this is the neutral axis. Okay, so now I have defined my path. Again right click, insert, let's say the stresses, equivalent 1 minus stresses, and then in the scoping method select the path, and then I need to select the path 2, which I have defined later on, and then evaluate all results. So now the stresses should be approximately 0. Okay, you see that this is approximately 0 because there's 5 megapascals, very small. You see these irregularities here for along this path. This is because this is very sharp. You see that singularity exists here. This was because the load was very like concentrated here. So this is how we can determine the stresses along the neutral axis, and we can add the chart in the graph. And now let's look at how we can basically instead of applying the force on a very thin area, we can how can we create a distributed patch or a more area where we can apply the force. For that, just let me close it from here. I would again go to the geometry. Okay, this is the point where I've split the face. So sorry, just right click and then delete this one. Okay, now I want to create okay, this is my first sketch and this is my second sketch. I don't need this sketch, just delete this one. Okay, so again I have this sketch and then again go to the modeling, sorry, go to the sketch, modify, and then how much patch I should define. I think that would be 100 mm would be fine. So for 100 mm this should be 450 from here and 450 from there. Okay, so let's just set it to be offset and then select that, select. Okay, just select this area, select this edge here, just work please. Okay, select this edge here and then right click, end selection and the offset. Okay, so just click here and then again click here, right click. Okay, this is, close it, and then now I need to just press the escape key and then I need to define the dimensions. Horizontal from here to here this should be 450 and from here to here this should be 50. So H2 should I would need to define the 450 mm and then this one would be 100 mm from there. So this is 100 mm, 450, 100 and then 450, so that's fine. Okay, so this is done, and then go to define the patch again. I would go to the tools, face split, and then first I need to select the face, or I need to split, so just select the face, and then in the tool geometry I need to select both of these edges. Okay, just be sure that. So select the edge selector, select, press Ctrl key, select first and the second line and then apply. Okay, now I have split this face into basically 3 faces. So this is 1, 2 and this is 3. Okay, and then face split. Now you see that whenever you see this option, okay, it means this has not generated yet, so you have to generate it. So now I have split the face. Now cross it and then again just double click the model. Okay, would you like to read the upstream data, because the upstream data has changed. Okay, if you remember that, this means because I have changed, so it means it required a refresh, so just refresh it. And you see that this is the same sign here, so it means changes pending was up to date, but upstream data has changed. Okay, so it was previously up to date, but since data has changed, so this needs to be changed as well. So this is means this one is not the final data we have here. So now you see that everything should be the same, but there is a problem. Instead of an edge, okay, just take time, let it be update. Okay, you see that everything is fine, but this force option is like, you see that there's a question mark here. So the question mark means attention required. So because previously this force was applying on an edge, but now that has been removed, so I need to upgrade this one. So I would just delete this force, and then again now I would select this face, this patch, right click, insert, and then okay, because I'm in the solution, I have selected the solution here, that's why in the insert option the menu is different. Okay, so to get the force I need to click the static structure first, and then right click and then insert, and then I can get the force here. So the force I need to apply here, and then again In the vector section, I would select by component and the y direction, so I would apply a force of minus 5000 Newton in the y direction. So there's it. Okay. Okay, so I've defined the force, and then go to the mesh, right click it, and then you see that just check it's 20 mm, and then generate mesh. Okay, so it will create the mesh, and then in the solution information, again just right click and then solve. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, so now I have my results. Okay, see that this is 111 megapascal, which is basically a bit lower than before, which was, and then the equivalent stresses, okay, you see that. Okay, that's what we can get. Okay, this is how we can create the bash. This is for today. See you. I hope to see you in the next video, and don't forget to create the report of this. Okay, you can just go to the display option. Go to the home and then report preview, and then you can just add the figures, whatever you want to add, and then report preview, and here it will generate the report. Thank you.